Corrosion. It happens to many types of metals, in many types of environments. But there are a lot of misconceptions about what corrosion is and what causes it. Now, some people think that if you put metal in water, you get corrosion. Well, as you're about to see, it takes more than putting metal in water to form corrosion. Corrosion can damage parts and even ruin complete power systems. And that's why you need to understand what marine corrosion is and how it can be prevented. Corrosion is actually a reaction that occurs when certain metals are connected or grounded through water. Electrons flow between the metals, and this reaction causes one of the metals to be eaten away. For all components on the drive unit, the best defense against corrosion is regular preventive maintenance. There are several simple service procedures you can perform to maintain the quality of corrosion resistance built into your Mercury drive unit. A little patience, some simple hand tools, and a few Mercury preventive maintenance products are all you need. Maintain a complete paint covering on the lower unit. Check the finish regularly, and prime and paint nicks and scratches using Mercury touch-up paints and enamel spray. If any bare metal is exposed, sacrificial anodes will be eaten away rapidly, and corrosion of the drive unit will quickly occur. It's a good idea to check the lower unit frequently for sand abrasion, nicks, and scratches. If bare metal is showing, apply 2 coats of paint to prevent corrosion. Spray the entire power head, all electrical connections, and everything under the cowl with Mercury Corrosion Guard. Inspect the sacrificial anodes at regular intervals and replace them before they're half gone. Remember, never paint anodes or the mounting surface on the gear case. Lubricate everything according to your owner's manual. In salt water, more frequent lubrication is required. The more lubrication, the better performance and corrosion resistance you'll get. Remember, saltwater operation requires lubrication much more often. To provide automatic protection from galvanic corrosion, you can install a Mercathode system. Mercathode is a solid-state device that operates from the boat's battery. It protects all makes of outboards and stern drives. 2 types of kits are available. A gimbal housing anode kit, which has the anode and the reference electrode incorporated into a single unit, and a transom-mounted anode kit. With this version, the anode and the reference cathode units are separate. Mercathode provides corrosion protection by producing a reverse blocking current that stops the destructive flow of galvanic current. Here's how it looks on a stern drive unit with a gimbal housing version of the Mercathode anode. Protective current flows from the battery, through the controller, to the anode, and finally into the water. The anode is coated with platinum so it won't corrode away. The reference electrode senses the corrosion potential in the water and then regulates the controller for optimum corrosion protection. The system then compensates for water temperature, movement, and salt content, even for changes in the condition of the paint on the drive unit. Here's how it looks on a stern drive unit with a gimbal housing version of the Mercathode anode. The current required by the system is so small, you can expect to operate up to several weeks before charging your batteries. This varies from one situation to another. Mercathode automatically turns off when the boat is removed from the water. The Mercathode system does not protect internal surfaces which pocket moisture and dirt. Therefore, it's important to remember to flush the drive with fresh water before storage. Like sacrificial anodes, the Mercathode anode and reference electrode should never be painted. Never clean the anode, because this could scratch the platinum coating and cause the backing to corrode. The Mercathode system should be checked once each year to ensure it is providing adequate protection. Here's an important note. Whenever a boat is using a stainless steel propeller or other stainless steel components that are below the waterline and tied into the continuity circuit, either a Mercathode system or an anti-corrosion anode kit should be installed. If the boat is equipped with trim tabs, an anode should be installed on each trim tab to handle the increased galvanic corrosion potential. When a transom-mounted Mercathode system is installed on a boat with dual drives, the anode is installed between the two drives so that it will protect both units. However, on boats with dual drives, it is recommended that you install dual Mercathode systems. Otherwise, two power packages would need to be grounded together. This would be done with ground straps between the two engines that would connect the ground circuits together. All right, now let's talk about the various configurations of Mercathode on different types of Mercury marine engines. On Mercruiser, Bravo models come with Mercathode as standard equipment. The Alpha models do not. On Bravo models, the Mercathode controller comes already installed on the engine, and the anode assembly is installed on the bottom of the gimbal housing assembly. The standard Mercathode controller is blue in color and has a total output capability of 200 milliamps. The unit will normally put out this level if used in saltwater areas. In freshwater areas, the output is limited by the area of the anode and the conductivity of the water to usually less than 25 milliamps. On a standard unit with a single Mercathode controller, the controller is wired as shown. Now, if you already have a Mercathode system with the anode assembly mounted on the gimbal housing and you want to increase your protection in freshwater areas, you can install two additional transom-mounted anodes as shown. Both of those anodes are then wired to the same anode terminal on the controller. In saltwater areas, you can also increase your total Mercathode output capability to 400 milliamps by installing an optional red controller. You must keep in mind that if you go up with the controller output, you also increase the potential drain on your battery. You may need to check on the status of your battery a little more often. Now, how about outboard applications? Well, they're really pretty similar to the Mercruiser configurations. The main difference is that you don't have the option of the anode assembly that gets mounted on the gimbal housing. Mercury outboard models only use the transom-mounted type of Mercathode. Everything else is identical. For boats with a single outboard, you would install the standard black controller with a transom-mounted anode and a transom-mounted reference electrode. On dual outboard applications, you should have one Mercathode system for each outboard. Remember, just like with Mercruiser applications in saltwater areas, you can also increase your total Mercathode output capability to 400 milliamps by installing the optional red controller. Keep in mind that this will increase the drain on your battery.